Hello everyone, hello, thank you for joining me today. My name is Barry and I am from Mitosu Crafts. So as I said, thank you for stopping by and watching my video today. If this is your first time in watching our videos, please remember to hit the subscribe button down below. Also remember to hit that little notification bell and select all, and you will then be notified of all of our inspiration which we pop here on YouTube. Obviously if you are a returning viewer, thank you very much for coming back. So today I am going to make a large Christmas cracker. So we are now a couple of days away from Christmas here in 2019. And I just wanted to do one last, or maybe one or two last Christmas projects before the big day. So, and this is probably something which you might be able to, if you've got the cardstock at home, and think, so, oh, how can I wrap this weird present, or how can I disguise this present I've got? This is something that is big enough that you can actually make. You can make it, and you can put something quite nice inside of it as well. Obviously nothing too large, but you'll see, because it's a box and a cracker. Okay, so I'm going to crack on. Excuse the pun. I'm going to crack on with our little lesson here. I've also used up the Feels Like Frost Designer Series paper, and I'm using 12 by 12 Seaside Spray cardstock. So you'll need 2 sheets of 12 by 12 cardstock, and you will need 4 sheets, or at least 3.5 sheets of 6 by 6 pieces of Designer Series paper. Now I'm going to use the back side, so I'm going to use this side here for this one. So I quite like this pattern paper, and that one side is really pretty, and the other side I think is really suitable for box buildings. It's silver, and this is also going to be made for a man as well, so which is why I've decided to go with the Seaside Spray and so on. So all products which you see me use today as well can be purchased from us. So I will pop the links to those all down below in the description, as well as links over to our websites, our blog, Facebook, Instagram, etc. And they will all be down below. All right, so I am going to crack on. So what we want to do first is we're going to make the box up. Now I'm going to admit I have got the instructions for these from another somebody else. So I will pop, for the life of me I can't remember her name at the moment, but I will definitely pop a link to her original video down below, and also over on our blog when I've written the blog for this. So it will all be down there, and that will link to her channel as well. So sorry, I can't remember your name right now, and I forgot to look at it before I put the camera on to record. So we will crack on. So I'm going to take my trimmer, and I'm going to do my box. So this needs to be cut to, you need to cut your 12 by 12 down to 11 by 12. Let's just make sure you can see that. So I'm just going to take 1 inch off of the side, okay? And I will pop that to one side. I'm going to bring in your Simply Scored tool here. So that's what we're using. And we are going to score along the short edge. So the short edge, what I mean by that is the 11 inches, because the other edge is 12 inches. So we're going to score on the short edge, so the 11 inch. So we are going to score at 2 5/8. So 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 1/4. 7 7/8. So 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And 10 1/2. Okay, we're going to turn it round onto the long edge, and we are going to score at 5/8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 1/4. 8 3/4. That's fine, and 11 3/8. Okay, so that's all the scoring which is needed for that piece there. So I'm going to take this away. Okay, so what we now need to do is we now need to cut some stuff away. So I'm going to fold and burnish all of my lines first. So that's that. So what we now need to do is we now need to cut some stuff away. So I want to cut away this whole section here. So this, all of this area right here needs to go away. Okay, and we do exactly the same the opposite side. So whatever we do one side, we're going to repeat it and do exactly the same on the other side. Okay, so that's that one gone. Then we're going to cut down on this one here. Cut down all the way down on the second one. Cut all the way down on the third one. And then what we want to do is we then want to then snip across about halfway on the first one and do exactly the same on the last one. Okay, and then what we want to do is we want to do exactly the same on the opposite side. So we're going to cut down to the second score line. And here. And then halfway. And halfway. So that's, and now we can get rid of those bits. So that's what we should look like there. Okay. All right, and then what we want to do is we just want to just notch in on this one and this one here, and do that on all four of these smaller tabs. There we go. That's it. And then I'm just going to go and grab something. I knew I'd forget something. I need the detailed trio punch here, because what I want to do is I want to round off the corners on these ones here. Okay, so I'm going to pop that in, round off. Obviously you can cut them off if you want to, so you can notch in, but I think the rounded edges just finish the box off nicely. And the last one. So there we go. All right, and that's your box made. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab some tear and tape, you want to pop it on the what would be the outside of the box as you're looking at it, and you want to pop some tape all the way along this little bit right here. Let me go and grab my tape paper tool. That's a bit easier. Use the correct tools. Okay, and I've done that a bit too short, so I'm just going to pop some more on the end bit over here. There we go. Getting ready for the video. I thought so, right, I've got everything I need. Always forget something. I know there's something else I've forgotten as well, which is for this box. So, but hey ho, I will get up and grab it in a second. So that's that. So then we would fold this part over and then just bring the box in on itself like that. And then that's the box folded. So we can then close these bits off here, and that's this box completed. Okay, so I am just going to grab some ribbon for this one, and because I want to add another element to it. So just bear with me. So I'm going to have the coordinating ribbon which goes with this cardstock. Okay, so the Seaside Spray ribbon here, so the scalloped linen thread. I'm going to tear off, or not tear off, I'm going to take off a chunk of this, probably more than I need, but I'm going to just, and then what I'm going to do is I basically want to make a little handle, a little pulley. Okay, so I'm going to fold it over like so, and then I will attempt to tie a knot on camera. And why can you never do it when you're on camera? There we go. And if you want, we want to make this not quite chunky because it's gonna, we don't want it to come through the box. So I'm just going to double this up. There we go. Because that's going to be inside the box anyway. And if we want to, I can just then snip off some of these bits. Okay, so we've given ourselves like a little bit of a pulley there. You'll see what I mean in a second. Okay, so you're going to grab the 1-inch circle punch. We're going to push one of these right the way inside on itself. And we want to grab our circle punch, and I want to just line this up, and we want to take out, you see I want to take out the, line it up in the center, and I want to take out the smallest of bit and punch. Because what we want to do is we want to create a little hole. Okay, because then what we're going to do then is this is going to go through like that. That can close up like that, and then when this is inside the cracker, it can quite easily be pulled out, and because we tied the knot big enough, it's not going to come out of that hole as well. So that's just something I've learned from it, and obviously, and it's lovely because it's coordinating. All right, so that's that. So that's our box. That can go to one side. Don't need that ribbon anymore. So now what I want to do is I want to do the cracker. Okay, so we're going to take the other piece of 12 by 12 cardstock, and we want to trim this down to 11.5. So 11.5 inches. So we just want to take off. So it's 11.5 by 12. So we just want to take off ½ inch. Okay. Put that to one side. We then want to grab our scoreboard again. Just need to get my notes here. So we want to score along the short edge, so the 11.5 edge. We want to score at 2 3/4. Five and a half. Eight 8.25. And 11. Sorry, I went slow down. I started to doubt myself and said, what am I doing? Okay, and then I want to turn it now onto the long edge. And I want to now score at 2. Oh, make sure you don't hop out like that. 2, 2.5, and 3. You want to rotate at 180 degrees. So 1, 2, and repeat those steps. So you want to do 2, 2.5, and 3. So there we go. That's what we want. So that's all the scoring needed for that one. We will then fold and burnish all of these up again. So on every single line, fold and burnish. It's quite a straightforward cracker to make as well. If you're making a couple of these, you could sit there and do the scoring for one of them, and then sort it out. Okay, so I'm going to go on. I'm going to just change what I'm saying now, because what I want to do is I want to fold in. So I want to do some mountain and valleys. Then I want to fold back on itself. Okay, and then come back again. Okay. So we will end up with a mountain and valley. So we then want to do exactly the same for this one again, the other side. So we fold in on itself first. Turn it round. We then want to then fold back on itself. And we then want to then fold it back on itself. Again, the opposite side. Okay. And that's what we want. So we should then end up with this here as a mountain and valley. Okay. No cutting is needed on this. So you will need a punch or an envelope punch board. Okay. So you're going to take your first bit. You're going to then want to then fold it over so you've got your mountain, or whatever way you want to sit it. So it's the valley part. So you kind of want to push those in like so and turn it over, and you want it to be, so just fold it all the way over. Okay, you want to take your circle punch, and you want to, the first one we want to line up, so we want to take away this corner here. So I'm going to lining the edge up with the line and the top edge up with the score line there, and punch. I'll then do exactly the same. So I'm lining the top of the punch up here with this score line here, and getting it roughly in the middle, so that score line is in the middle. Can you see what I'm doing there? There you go. And punch out. And I would do that on all of these. Okay, and halfway on that end one. Okay, and repeat the steps on the exact opposite side. Okay, so it's folded over. So you're going through double thickness here. So take off a half or a quarter, take off a half, take off a half, take off, and then just take that one off. There. Okay. So that there is now our cracker pretty much. Okay, so same thing as last time. We will pop some sticky tape, but I'm going to decorate this before I stick it down, but I'm going to get the sticky tape ready. So I'm going to pop some double-sided tape there. I will then do exactly the same on this bit here, and I will do exactly the same on that bit. Here we go. So that's all ready for a moment. So I'm going to pop that to one side, and I'm going to do some cutting now of the designer series paper. Okay, so we're going to grab the Feels Like Frost. I just need my measurements here. So we need to make, so you want to take one of these first, and we want to cut, we want to make 4 panels for the center part. So these need to be 2.5 by 5 3/4. So if I'm going to cut my 6 by 6 down to 5 3/4 first, to get rid of that part there, and then I'm then going to do these at 2.5 and we need that down to 3 and 2.5. So there we go. So that's that one. So we'll grab another piece of paper. So I cut at 5 3/4 first. Take off that. And then cut another one here at 2.5. And another one at 2.5. So you need 4 of those. So they measure 2.5 by 5 3/4, and you need 4 of those ones. Okay. Then grab your other bit of paper, and then what you need is you need 8, which measure 2.5 by 1 3/4. So 2.5 and 2.5 is 5. So I'm going to take that off. I'm just going to take off that last part here. So I'm going to go at 2.5. There. So I've got 2 strips which measure 2.5 by 6. And there goes my clock again. And then I need 1 3/4. So wait. There we go. So and then 1 3/4. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay. So you can get 6 out to 1 on 1 sheet of paper, which is why you need 4 sheets. So 1 3/4 again here. 1, 2, and 3. All right, and then grab a spare piece. Which I might have one which is already cut to size. Yeah, perfect. I had a spare piece around. So then you'll be left over with some offcuts, which you can make some lovely cards with. Okay, so let's put that to one side. Let's bring in my cracker here, because it's easier to do this whilst it's flat, I would say. So yeah, so let's do this now. So I'm going to take the first one, I'm going to pop some wet glue. On the back over here, and we will then just position this in the center of this panel and stick down. Do exactly the same on the other. So we want to do this on the, so the 4 larger panels are going in the middle. Going in here. And the third one. fourth one. And so, like I said earlier on, you could make a batch of these up quite easily, so you could sit here and do a load of cutting with the panels and get those out of the way. Then you could then make do all the cutting of the boxes and scoring the boxes, and then the cutting and the scoring of the cracker, and then just have a mass construction time. And then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4 on the other side, so there's your 8 little pieces which you need as well. And they fit in here perfectly. So if you're using paper which has got a specific pattern on it, which might need to follow on from each other, then just be aware of that you cut it in a way that you can, so the pattern looks like it follows on. But I don't think it matters too much with this side of this particular paper. I think it works quite well. Okay, so last one on this side. Something great to do with the kids maybe as well. They can help you out with the cutting of these or the sticking of these panels on once you've got it, or grandchildren once you've got it all cut to size. I think it'd be quite a nice little project, and it's probably something you can probably quite easily knock up before Christmas as well, because it doesn't take long. Now I'm going to try and do a smaller cracker. Now I know it's been done already. Lots of people have already done it, but I haven't worked out the measurements myself, so I'm going to make a smaller cracker so it can be done out of A4 as well. I'm missing one. I must have miscounted, so I need to cut one more up. So yeah, so I will work out the measurements to do a smaller cracker on A4, and I will post that as well. So yeah, I did need another one. I did need that one there. So I'm going to cut that to, so instead of wasting the whole piece, I'm going to cut it to 1 3/4 first. So I've not lost too much of that one, and then I'll come in and cut this at 2 1/2 there. Just need to trim that. It's gone a little bit fairy. So, and the last one then. Right there. So that's the decoration of that part of the cracker done. So we will now just remove, so like we did with the box, we will remove these sticky strips here. Turn it over and fold that one in on itself, and then bring this one over, and then they should all just line up nicely. So get that middle part in there, and then stick that one down, and then we'll stick that one down right there. And there we go. That there is our cracker, and we will then push those bits in. What did I do wrong there? I missed off something. I did it. So we just need to I don't know what I missed there, but I missed a part. Okay, but you can see it was quite easy. I just done it flat, and then where it was, and then I just punched out the hole. So you can see those holes should roughly match up with each other anyway. So that's that, and there we go. That then folds up and goes in like that. Now the box, is the perfect fit for inside. So that can go in like that. So when the person opens it, they can then pull this out and you can fill this up with some goodies of your choice. Okay, I think you can get some nice sweets in there, or you can hide something nice in there, and they won't be expecting it in a cracker. Okay, so that's my that's that one there. So let's decorate the front. So what I've done with this one, I've already gone ahead and pre-done it. So I've used the detailed bands dies, which is here, to cut something out on some silver glimmer card. So that's going to get stuck down on like that. Okay, but I'm now beginning to think that I should have done it in gold. Okay, bear with me, I'm going to do this in gold. It might look better in gold. I thought, oh, I cut it all off the camera, save time, save you having to wobble the camera, but no, I should have gone with my gut. My gut was telling me gold to start off with. So you can see all the dies which are in here. So this is the one which I'm going to use. We've got some lovely elements in this one. I'm just going to cut some of this off. Do a bit of die cutting. So we'll pop that on like that. So we got the magnetic platform down here. And see, and it cuts out beautifully. So what I am going to do is I am going to rotate it though and turn it round and do it the other side though, just because I like to be sure. That's fine. Good. Let's pop that to one side. This is why I didn't want to do this on camera, because I didn't want to have to poke it all out, but hey ho. If it's die cut nicely, which it should have done, most of these parts should pop out relatively easily anyway, which they are. So that just proves how much of a good die it is. You just need to run it through a couple of times just to make sure it pushes, rotate it round, I would recommend anyway. Just to make sure everything is cut nicely, because there's nothing worse than spending ages cutting all of these bits out. See, well, if you wonder what that noise is, that's a cat running around. And then I think that sits better on there, stands out just that little bit more. Okay, so we leave that to one side. That was the silver one, and there's the gold one. I just think the gold one might just pop out a little bit more, just be a little bit better. I'm going to actually snip into this, and I'm going to get rid of that bit and that bit. And the same, I'm going to do the same on that side. So I'm going to cut into this and just get rid of those two pieces. So that there is then going to sit on like so. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop some glue on the back of, oh, just realised I've missed a few pieces there. That bit there, that one. And you can tell by the back, you can see, like, I class them, they look like pencil lines, because they're dark, and so you can see that you've missed something. And that one there. That's it. So have a look on the back. Okay, so we're just going to pop some glue on that bit there. And I'm just going to decide where I want the top to be, because I've got the seam is on this one, so I'm going to ideally want the front to be this side here. So that's going to go on like so. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the Perfectly Plaid stamp set. This has been a very well used stamp set of ours. It's been a go-to, and I just love the sentiments on this one as well. And I can happily say that this stamp set is returning. It will be available after Christmas as well. So if you miss out on it, don't worry, you can get your hands back on it again. But obviously, if you buy it this side of Christmas before the new mini catalogue goes live, you can get it with 10% off. Okay, so I'm using the same ink pad here, so Seaside Spray ink. And I'm using the coordinating cardstock as well. And I'm just gonna stand up for this. There we go. North Pole delivery. I love it. I think it's great. And the oval, which has been cut from as well, is out of the detail bands, and then that's going to sit in like that. So I'm just going to grab some dimensionals. I really thought I was organised and have everything at the table with me, but obviously not. And we'll just pop some dimensionals on here. I like to use a lot. There we go. I think just putting it on dimensionals just finishes this little bit off. There we go. And then that's then is going to go on like that. So then what you can now, the final touch, we'll grab my ribbon, get my ribbon box here, and I will probably use some of that. Let's see how well this ties. So which is the flax ribbon. I think this might work quite nicely. We'll see. If not, I'll try another one. And we want to then bring this round and maybe just tie like a little bit of a bow or a knot. So let's sit down and do this. Right, am I going to be able to tie a bow on camera? We will find out, shall we? Ish. So you just need to manipulate your bow and obviously maybe try and have it so your tails go the same way, but never mind, I'll have my tails coming out from the sides like so. That's it. And then I will then snip that off and snip that off there. Now, see, what I would do is I would do exactly the same on this side here, but I'm not going to do that for you here, because what I need to do is I need to make sure that I want to fill this up first. So this is the side which has got the pulley on it. So I want to fill my gift in there, put my gift in there first. Then once I've done that, I'll do exactly the same, and I will tie like a little bow on this side, going the opposite way, so like that, just to finish that off. Okay, just want to just shorten those a little bit. And there we go. That there, obviously imagine there's a ribbon that side, but that there is my, let's turn that away. It's quite bright, let's turn that light down a little bit. So that there is my Christmas cracker gift box with a gift box inside with a pulley, okay, and decorated with some lovely stuff. All right, and nothing's going to fall out. It's all really pretty in there. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed that. Like I say, all the links to all little products which are used can be found down below in the description. Head over to our website as well, and I will write the measurements down on the blog over on our website for this as well. So if you didn't quite catch them, rather than you rewinding, if you don't want to, I will have all the measurements for you over on our website. Okay, guys, thank you very much for watching. Watch this space for a smaller cracker as well, because I'm going to try and do a smaller one, which might be ideal for some table gifts, like put one little chocolate in for the table. But there we go. There is my Christmas cracker for you, my large Christmas cracker. All right. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great Christmas, everybody. And thank you very much. Okay, cheers. Bye-bye. Bye.